Hi, everybody. I want to do a video because of the simple fact, me being the creator of spiritual disputes and special spiritual dispute cases. You can check the description box for my Divine Conflict Resolution Strategist course, where I give insight on tarot and the breaking down methods of these cards. For example, let's start off. We just need a wand. Hope y'all doing good. Because there's some things that need to be cleared up about um, what should happen, how to petition and do things spiritually. But one must understand, overstand, and understand the consciousness on an outer standing perspective, actual court, even the rules that they break and all those things. 'Cause just like certain individuals should know, other people's spiritual court is not like your court. For example, if you go to court in Nevada, it's not going to be like court in Ohio. If you go to court in South Carolina, it's not going to be like court in North Carolina. Certain states that don't even have the same kind of laws. Like there's some states that give valor to grandparents having rights to petition the court for custody, as of some states, like North Carolina, does not give grandparents the right to petition. They would have to literally petition as like they're any other person. So this is the reason of me doing the video, because it's a lot of misconceptions, and I guess people wanting to push different ideologies of what spiritual court is on others because of their experience. That's your court, not their court. And a lot of times, the ancestors have their own court established according to the individual and who they're related to, as well as the other individual and who they're related to. This court and that court are not the same. Let's talk about sports. It's just like you go to a game, and there's usually one player, or hey, glad you're here. It's usually one team playing against the other, but someone has to come to someone's court, usually called home court advantage. And we have seen some people get their tail whooped in their own court, have we not? So this is me. I'm just trying to clear the air of what spiritual courts and disputes are. Me being the only person, I'm sorry, you ain't gonna hear nowhere else. I have this stuff even copywritten and content as well, and also have done commerce with it, so it definitely protects it. Where no, there's a difference. And me having court experience, because a lot of tarot readers and people who do divination, a lot of them don't even have court experience. And even if they do, certain individuals have not been out with it. They're scared to admit it, or they don't. I guess they feel like mixing professionalism with other notions that are quote unquote not professional is a problem. But see, that's the problem. This is why that will be called living a double life. How can you then charge a bigot when you do bigotry in the back? I obviously that is something that they will have to deal with. Obviously, why a lot of them get their butt kicked and we don't know about it, but they do. You can't live a certain kind of life and then deem fact of another life, but then want to push that ideology, whether that other person is right or wrong, on them, aka a bigot. But you're doing bigotry acts where you're not revealing what you do behind closed doors with your professionalism as you present it in the light to others of, oh, this is what I do with my professionalism. Because a lot of times, let's be honest, we already know they don't tell us the truth. So this is just me clearing the air about, no, I mean, I hear you people in the divination world, I hear you, but we need some people that are doing divination and they're using their practicality skills at the same time without fear. We need those kind of people. Hello, everybody. My name is TamaraTheMediator. You can call me Fugi. And exactly, it's just that's not right. I had to clear the air. I heard a video, and I was like, you can still learn. I feel like I can still learn from that person. I'm not gonna ever act like I'm just no. But it was some things I was like, hmm. Then that just led me to, okay, I know what I need to do. I know what I don't need to do. That's how they run theirs, or however they feel over there. That has nothing to do with what I do over here. So it just gave me insight on how to deliver myself, I would say. As some will receive and as some won't. So, continuing on, let's talk about tarot, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's bad, yada yada, bing bing. There is in the description box, there's a course I have on Udemy called Divine Conflict Resolution Strategist. This is literally a name that I created due to me being a certified mediator with the rights and privilege sworn in also, where it gives notion to different strategies we can use to help people solve problems. I mean, literally, you don't have to have like a degree to help someone solve a problem. A lot of times, there's people with no education that have great experience that helps people on a daily. There's some of us, we have family members who have successful lives, great money, and they have little education. So a lot of times it's about taking an opportunity. A lot of times it's about evaluating what experience you already have so you can be a great individual to receive abundance. So let's go. What are the three main punctuations and sentence structure? As a homeschool teacher as well, and my kids will be going back to school this year. Hallelujah. I just had my little fun and whatnot. Um, we have our three main punctuations and sentence structure: exclamation mark, question mark, and period. Now, all of those things are attributed to what they call a chalice, a cup, due to it having emotionalness according to whichever card you will use. But I'm not worrying about the meaning of the card, more like the meaning of imagery. This is the meaning of imagery. This is like 101 right now. So, for those who are baptized, like myself, or have done communion, like myself, they will say Jesus Christ is our Savior, things of that nature. My father being a pastor and also being a Mason, it's about right knowledge as well. So, this right here, when we do communion with Jesus Christ, we are embodying all emotions that he's had. So, as I explain each punctuation in the tarot cards, don't pay attention to the number, but since they are out here, I might interject to give an example, but it's really about the image. And everybody knows etymology, right? I mean, if we're talking about court and things of the nature that fit it, yes, etymology is important. So basically, chalice is evaluating and embodying. They will say that the juice for some, and some of us, we already know the other part, the blood, but let's keep it surface level. The juice. We've done the juice and the little nab. I do not like to say the other word. I don't. Nobody caught that? Don't say it. Let's call it a nab. Anyway, so you're eating the nab with the juice. And the juice is a symbolism of the blood of Jesus Christ, as we should know, right? For those who know, for those who don't, that's what it is. And usually everyone in church is doing it together at the same time. That's a form of ceremonial ritualisticness. So let's talk about the first one. The chalice is embodying all the emotions. So anything Jesus, quote unquote, has said, anything Jesus, quote unquote, has, I guess someone else said to him, anything like that, according to sentence structure. Because as it says in the book of John, chapter 6, if you read it, you'll find fragments. And we all know sentences can have fragments, right? Just go to John chapter 6. Thank you, Pastor Marilyn. When I went to church, that was a lovely word. And I was like, wow, this is why going to church or just going to hear anybody according to what they do divination wise is important. You might not like what they do. You might be on the other side of what they do, or let's just say someone's a Christian, the other one's a Muslim. I think that you can still learn from each other as long as there's peace and understanding and overview of that, not pushing ideology on each other, not arguing about things. When you, at the end of the day, really the big battle at the end of this life, we're going to need each other. A lot of people don't get that yet. So this is embodying all of the things said to Jesus. You're also embodying it as well. So say like you do something else. You might have an Ori, a head Ori. When we talk about the Orishas, same difference. Whatever that their stories were, according to whatever the Bible allow for a lot of you. I don't know if you know about that stuff, but you have to, according to understanding, overstanding, and understanding on outer standing perspectives, other cultures and other people as they do communion differently, as they might do rituals and ceremonies differently. A lot of people are quote unquote Native American. So, you have dances like the mosquito dance for the Iroquois tribe. You have those things matter. So, when we talk about ritualistics and ceremonies, we have to think that, those things matter. There's African tribes. I mean, obviously, you see how I look. They told us what a lot of us in America, we come from Africa. A lot of us, we already knew that that wasn't really true, even though a lot of us know some of our ancestors were stolen and took into other places. So this is why we still have an open mind, a lot of us. So that is that. Let's do the sword. The sword is the exclamation mark. People, basically, sword is etymology to word. So also thinking strategically, and then also swearing, whether you did something or not, also defines sword in tarot. But generally speaking, this is an exclamation mark as we keep it basic on the topic. And exclamation marks emotions have urgency, or really emergencies, or excitement. I like to call it the two E's in exclamation mark using, because everything it should have an emotion. So it's just a thing with no emotion. Noun is person, place, thing, or idea, and a lot of things are backwards. People feel this is why people feel like man created a lot of things. I mean, as we have mankind, roughly. So now backwards in creation form is having an idea, doing a thing at a place, and then it's personified. So that's why a lot of people feel like things are backwards. So that's what a sword is. Exclamation mark, the two E's to kind of get the emotion of it. It's usually used for emergency or excitement. Like you could be, having fun. A lot of people when they see a sword, I peeped that in tarot. I just want to make it be known. I guess they automatically try to pinpoint it as something bad when a lot of times it's good. Like for example, four of swords is usually they will say family secrets and closet stuff. This could be someone, because it's upright, coming out of the closet and having relief, and not necessarily, oh, they're hiding something. Like it depends on the reading. So anyway, let's move forward. This is the Nine of Pentacles, but it's attributed as a period. For okay, fellas, y'all take a break. Even though I know y'all bleed too, y'all could get cut or an accident. I will not leave that out. So y'all hold on for a second. Ladies, as we are having periods, blood, sweat, and tears. They would say pentacles is a form of gain, money. So if you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, you're looking for something to come out of that, the good works of it. So period, the only feeling a period has, if we, look at it roughly, is being neutral. you know how they say that saying, just period, or it is what it is kind of feeling. A period is being neutral. So when someone is saying something, usually, you know, you can, I guess you can neutralize it however you see fit, because neutralizing also means to fix it and narrate it how you see fit. Like, we can be in class learning the same things. Obviously, we're in the same class learning the same thing, material, as the teacher, quote unquote, professor, lecturer, whatnot, is teaching us. And usually they're being neutral at the same time. They're not, I mean, they might get excited or some those other emotions, but usually 9 times out of 10, they're being neutral as they are teaching us. Because, first of all, how you perceive it and how I perceive it is differently, even though we're in the same class. We have obviously the same teacher, same professor or lecturer, but at the same token, we're receiving it completely different. This is why neutralizing a situation is important if there is an issue, because you can take something that was meant to be neutral out of context of an issue, where then you would probably have a exclamation example like, you need help, you didn't understand what they said, or the other exclamation, oh, this is exciting, I can't wait to begin. Like, it just, it depends. Like, if I were to go back and use what we talked about, what a sword is. So that's a period, people. Neutrality. You know, they said what they said, but what does it mean to you? And then they did what they did work wise. What does it mean to you? How are you going to take it? How are you going to handle it? Because that will be up to you. Or really the outcome, they will say, what the finishing touch would be. You know, because someone could build a building downtown, and we just so happen to pass by it all the time, and maybe we both sit outside and we're looking at it, and you get a different perspective than I would. But there will be a neutralizing thing if there had to be. 9 times out of 10, there doesn't have to be. You have a right to see things the way you see things and how you feel about it, and that's just period. So, guys, coming back, my bad. I had to do. So the women with the period and guys in the blood. Guys, I'm gonna do this first with you. It's gonna be really interesting. I had to really think about this. It's a little fun. So, fellas with the bleeding and you don't have a period, what up? How you doing? This for you is blood, sweat, and tears. The work you put in, and then what you're looking to get back. This is also anything you may sacrifice, and that's just period. For women, it's a lot. So if you can have babies, and you know, my condolences if you cannot, but that doesn't mean that you won't. You know, you can go to a facility where their blood, sweat, and tears putting it together. You can adopt the child, you and your partner, or just you. So that right there. And then women, you know, the blood, sweat, and tears for us, not only is it work, but also what we give out according to what men put in, if you feel me. So a lot of times it depends on what this is. Like, for example, these can be blood cells. In reverse, it could be white blood cells. It depends. So let's move on. We have a one. We got a one. Da-da-da-do-do. It's a question mark. It's a question mark. Y'all see that? Big old question mark. So, question mark is obviously to inquire or to basically wonder. Like, you might not actually say anything out loud, but you're wondering. Like, for my herbalist, and I have my herbal health certification, I took environmental science in my criminal justice of science degree program, so I thought it'd be great to do that. And then doing master gardening with Brad Hardison of Sampson County. Hi, Brad. It was fun. So this right here is basically the wand in notion of the wandering Jew plant. So this opens the door to, you know, for confirmation, I guess. I guess if you want to look at it as confirmation, you don't have to. So the wand is a notion of, like, say like someone is a Jew, but then someone is Jewish. because some people feel like a Jew and being Jewish is different. And obviously, I believe they are because it wouldn't be the same word. Because let's just be honest. Let's go back to the sword. If we went and put on a document, Johnny Swanshakis is a Jew, Sarah Battingley is Jewish, and this is their case. I don't know, something like that. Obviously, to the people in the court, being a Jew and Jewish, I mean, there's similarity, but there is a difference. Well, for those who know, there truly is a difference. Native American and American Indian, I'm sorry, not sorry, people. When you're trying to do correctableness of things, I know how we feel as people when we're loving each other, supporting each other. But in matters of practicality, they're not the same thing. They will be the same word and have the same meaning. Sorry, not sorry. And here I have to tell you the truth. They're not the same thing. You can kind of piggyback ride and try to compare it all you like to. It's not the same thing. So with a wand, this is to inquire and ask questions. Usually the emotion is being puzzled, curious, or just overall, you could be asking someone for clarity. Puzzled, curious, or clarity. Puzzled, curious, clarity. I mean, because with being puzzled, you can be confused or trying to solve something because of confusion on your own. It depends on the energy in the read, and then getting the right notion from the right kind of person. Because a lot of people, I know y'all see this stuff on YouTube everywhere, and maybe a lot of y'all don't like that, but there needs to be structure and some kind of practicality with it. So I choose to focus on that and create new breaking ground results. Um, Especially having a science degree, I think there is a science to it. I mean, as it is to a lot of things, but then that ray of opening, because a lot of things you can't just figure out. Some stuff you're just going to have to see through and see what happens. But risk taking, let's just be honest. Some things we shouldn't be risk taking. If it's somebody's life that's in stake, something that obviously puts someone in a very uncomfortable situation, let alone them, thinking everything's going to be okay and somebody's just playing them for silly reasons of their own to do tests and experiments, not being honest with them so that they can use them as a crash test dummy. This is the reason why stuff like this matters about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and giving actual, like, okay, well, where's your proof? Where's your insight? So how does what I just told you don't make sense? Looks like a period to me. It's just a big giant coin. It looks like a question mark to me. It's just looks like a wand. This is a sword, but we obviously can relate it to an exclamation mark. And then a chalice is all of these emotions according to whom you accepted communion with. You are basically, embodying all of their emotions, but it's about you. So you have to be careful about what you accept and also what you don't accept. Because a lot of things are just for experience, but some people they use it to try and dictate over someone else, and you have to show them who's boss sometimes. So you own your body. You're the captain of your fate, the debtor of your soul. Those kinds of things that we hear. So, just giving clarity in the video of divine conflict resolution strategist looks and how tarot can be done, structurally in a way that is exceptional. And then the fact that, well, you might not use tarot, but I know you use periods, question marks, and exclamation marks. I know you do. And then say like you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Savior. You don't have to. Do you not eat fruits and vegetables of the land? And is it not grown on the land? It doesn't have to be actually on the land. It can be in a raised bed, and the soil still comes from somebody's area of land. So say like we do a soil testing. and it comes from the soil that is being used, even though you bought it from like Walmart or something like that. And this is also me taking environmental science in my criminal justice degree program to make it make sense. So if a lot of you say education matters, then let me rock. So anyway, if you are using the soil that you bought from Walmart as we continue and you do raised beds, or someone said they didn't use it on the land, they did a raised bed. Okay, you still use soil. Let alone a lot of you, for those who understand agriculture and the works that you do, composting, when we create the soil and we use other things to neutralize and give it more oomph for volume and growth, making sure our plants, herbs, fruits, vegetables are getting everything they need, not just from the soil and the water, but sometimes they need extra from, like, maybe you want to put banana peels in your composting. Maybe you want to put some other things that you have in your home that you would consider waste, but it doesn't have to be waste. You can just simply put it into composting to make the soil stronger, more potent, and give it more nutrient to give to that plant or that fruit or that vegetable. So if you are doing stuff like that, you're still accepting communion. And if people died on this land somewhere, you might not have known what happened right there. You might not have known anything about what happened over there. Or you think you did because of some research that they told you in school or your education, or just simply you're the type that'll go in research because you don't like to be led astray. All those actually matter if you ask me, even if you did get taught what something is, and then you want to seek improvement about your own experience and what that is, which is important. It's innovative and it opens the door for us to be more practical in structure when it comes to, they will say, getting your degree, getting certified, completing a course until you complete the whole thing in general, where you can get a diploma, for example. It's basically the tools in one, even if you've never even accepted Jesus Christ. Because if they're saying things like what happened in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, Talmud, whatever, like if they're saying these things happen and you just so happen to be eating and you like fruits and vegetables, blah, say blah, or be who doesn't, right? So, I mean, even if you eat meat, you even have to be considerate of that because it goes back to the blood. That's a whole nother thing. This is why this can be blood cells, and in reverse, it can be white blood cells, or what you don't know what's going on. Those kind of things. Surgical operations. They have to do they would say a what they call it, an intake form, inquiry form, and then getting the results in the end. I mean, it just depends on the reading and what's going on and how it's being done. So with the raised beds and all that, in closing, you are embodying fruits and vegetables. You just don't know anything about the soil because, they would say what manure, those things is also used. So let's just kind of give it valor, even though it sounds kind of black, right? um We need it. We use it every day. XYZ. Thank you to all the farmers or anyone who has farmed in your lineage all the way to now. So it just goes back without saying. Sometimes we don't think about it. And a lot of times we want to act like we know. And you don't. And it's a lot of stuff is very simple. Like I did a reading one time and someone came into the reading saying, I just wanted to make it known that some people, they don't think blah 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 because of a question that the person asked me, and I didn't really know what they was talking about. They said a word, I think it was theometricals, and that was dealing with like holograms, because I was kind of like, what? So this is someone, obviously they was watching me, they wanted to belittle me because of, I guess, what I was doing. But you see how I just kind of made it make sense with some like kindergarten stuff, because we kind of learned this in pre-K, Head Start. Some of y'all before you went, some of y'all might have went straight to first grade. Doesn't matter. Because sometimes going through the steps and not skipping is people's problem. You never know what you're going to learn in there. Levels to it, they would say. I mean, hey, if you could skip a grade, cool. I mean, I don't really say it's bad, but one thing I would say, the experience you won't have, because somebody feels like you don't need it, and you just might have been missing out on something that could give you that. So I always would say, I no shade, but I think that the children or anyone who's done that, not that I'm coming at you, I feel like this. If there is someone who deserves to go beyond a grade or two or three, I've seen that before. Um, I still think they need like a maybe 3 to 6 months of that grade. I think maybe at least 3 months, at least three, because it's something about what if. How many of us, grown and all, have had our what ifs, but we can't go back. I mean, we can go. It's something about when you're say like you're a kid and you had that experience where you skipped like sixth, seventh grade and you went straight to eighth grade. Okay, cool. Obviously, that means you're smart as heck, but um, you always would just think in the back of your mind, what if I would have went? Or it just never dawned on you until a certain point. So going to teach sixth and seventh grade will be something to give you that back. Sometimes, you know how they say going backwards is not a good idea? Well, a lot of times it could be a great idea just in case you needed to hear something, you didn't hear it. Maybe a child would remind you of yourself, you know, past. But a lot of people, let's beware, for those who know where the parents at. People do things like that. They do things like that, and then they vamp on your child's energy. This is why a lot of us feel like protecting our children. A lot of us feel like protecting our children is important, as such, protecting the home, where the foundation is. So yeah, going back to the spiritual course of things, I hope that helps. In closing, I have spiritual docket playlist on my channel. I will put it in the playlist of this channel. I look to improve it way more. I think I did very well though. I think I did very well. I'm starting to see a lot of people come up with that, but honestly, y'all, you know how you should never pay attention to what someone else is doing? I want to encourage someone. You might see someone trying to play catch up, or I'm going to get there before you. Not knowing where you're going has nothing to do with them. It goes back to neutralization and period. Okay, let me get that. This is the six of Pentacles, so something about 6 and 9. But anyway, it just goes back to neutralizing. You want to neutralize it this way. They're neutralizing it that way. But just period, you both have your viewpoint. They look at it, we're learning the same things, it seems like, in this university. It just seems like it, right? But we have different minds, different eyes. I mean, some people will try to say, oh, we're the same. We're the same as far as being, not the same as within or knowing, because ain't no telling what you know that I might not know, and I can get crazy insight off of it. But I have to be honest, the originator in which that came from, I can never just go above and beyond them, because they are the originator of what gave me the seed to even plant how I do. So let's all, going back to school, citing your sources is important, right? Or are you going to get in trouble for what? Plagiarism. That is a serious crime. Like, school is one thing. It taught you, like, look, you might want to do this, or it was cute in school. Do that when you grown. Do that when you grown. Hey, I mean, they might have done it when they were younger, but there might have been a special proceeding case about that. juvenile delinquency. I took juvenile delinquency in the criminal justice degree program too. But I'm not sure if there's I mean, that's a special proceeding, so we're probably not going to know. But just thinking about it, it might have happened before. I don't know. We will never know until we know, right? So just thinking. So getting back to it though, in closing, do that. You grown. Cite your sources somewhere. Do something, and make it make sense as well. But at the same token, uh, you might want to be just do your due diligence. Do your best. Do your due diligence. Look over your stuff. Edit it. Edit. A lot of us. Oh, I know I have issues with the editing department. Shout out to all the editors. Y'all do it on a daily. Love you much. I'm gonna get better at it. I'm gonna get better. Me, I be rushing. I ain't even gonna lie. I be rushing. I need to stop doing that. But when it comes to citing sources, I'm cool. But for me, going back, looking at, punctuation and sentence structure, this goes back to fragments. Look in chapter 6 of John, and you will be enthused about fragments. Yep, people. John, chapter 6. Again, thank you, Pastor Marilyn. Yeah, so I hope this helps. I will say in closing as well about spiritual disputes and special spiritual disputes, as you will learn from me. I'm sorry, not sorry. How they operate, I'm gonna go back to what I said in the first beginning. Let's get that through our head right now. You might not like how I do. It's how I do. At least now, this is how you know somebody at least wants to learn and take initiative and be a better evaluator, even in their own stuff, listening to someone else. If you are racing against someone else, first of all, the ori of whatever the information is, which is silly as heck. I just think that's silly to do. Y'all get it. If you're racing against the one who that's they did that. You're just trying to beat them to something. And where you're going with it, you're actually going to get caught up. Because how do you know? How do you know you're not helping them? Wherever you're going is completely dun, dun, dun. So a lot of y'all don't get upset when somebody, I'm going to get there first, or you can obviously see somebody is like watching you and trying to not only mimic and mock you and pick at you, but want to say it's productive criticism with they sneaky ass. They know damn well they're not doing it because they wouldn't be so consistent. And a lot of people, they are because they want you to be great. But at the same token, what's not, present, I can't respect it. If you didn't come to me or you tried to force me to come to you, I don't respect that. That's like someone attacking your finances or doing little sneaky things like that. Obviously, you know something's wrong, but everybody want to act like maybe you cray or something like that, where obviously you know that person is trying to make their way toward you somehow, but want to look at it like, I was just trying to help. No, you wasn't. Some of y'all just be strong, be brave too, because you're gonna have them. They feel like, where are you going? Don't leave me. So obviously that means you're not the originator. If you gotta do all that, I'm sorry. Somebody, you get it. Others, I don't know. In closing of it, I'm gonna end the video. I would just say, pay attention to that consistency of anybody. I don't care if you catch it in a video. It can be anything, but leave space open for conversation, because a lot of people could be using someone else's energy because they are going through, I would say, someone trying to cloak them, use them to use you. So be careful, because some people, it could be a cry for help, and you think that, some people, It's a cry for help, all right. They want your spot. So don't ever get that confused either. You free out here. You ain't gotta worry about what they gotta worry about. So be careful, use discernment, have that loving heart of yours, but also protect it. That's it. And not everyone's court is like everyone else's. Until people learn the actual grounds of things, of the they would say the world and how it operates. I mean, yeah, your spirituality and the stuff is on point, but learning the practical things could intensify and vibrationalize what you already know spiritually. So, but at the same time, if they feel like that, cool. Um, some people have that great sportsmanship or that great play of, they got that great team too. It's about believing in your team as well. I mean, you can play like tennis. It's like one person and another playing, and those times where it got to be all you and it's just them or whatever. So in those contexts, that matters as well because it goes back to, well, you said that and it made sense. Cool. Well, now what they said that and it makes sense. All right. Now it look like y'all playing against each other. What's the game? What's it gonna be? What's the home court advantage? Where we going? Where we gonna be at? It's that meet me in the. It's going down. But sometimes it doesn't have to be vulgar. And a lot of times, like Avatar, the Earth King, his friend, right? But Avatar had that little situation. So his Earth friend, Boomy, and he said he's a mad genius, for example, trying to leave on a note to help you understand what I was just saying. Boomy was like, the old Avatar, he said this phrase, the old Avatar avoid and evade. Sooner or later, you have to fight back. But then how the fight went, he kind of it wasn't really a beef. It was you fight with great, strength, love in your heart. And he let it go. And then he was trying to get him to remember, who am I? And then he had to think about it. He was like, oh, I remember who that is. That's Boomy. So a lot of times it's not about competition. It's not about, oh, well, they're trying to hurt me. A lot of times somebody just wants you to remember them so they don't have to say goodbye. Because, sometimes we be missing our relationships that we could have because we don't want to see what it is. But use discernment because some relationships ain't worth going back to. Sorry. Not sorry. Okay. So y'all have a good one. Hope you liked the video and my little humoristic, quirky attitude. I get you gotta make it fun. Nobody wants to watch something that's just. Some of y'all might find it boring still. I don't care. See what I said. So everybody else who enjoyed it, thank you. Like, comment, and share. I do want to say I open the door to tarot readers who need civil matter disputes in tarot world when it comes to mediation. And you might have an issue with this tarot reader, and you a reader too, and y'all got a problem. You can ask for help. You can always ask for help. Description box is open. Email is there. Just clickety clackety and poof pow. I'll be there. So y'all have a good one. Everybody else, enjoy what you just heard, and I will be on my way. I gotta do a reading for Virgo and Capricorn. I gotta teach y'all. I would love to teach people about the box method. I call it. You know how you have squares and triangles and all those good things in the astrology. Well, triangle, the trine, square, the square. Tiana. Wait a minute. I thought about Tiana. No. That's Tina, right? Square biz. So, yeah, I do the square method. I call it the square method. Because, we learned shapes when we was in kindergarten. I thought it'd be fun to have it in the stuff. Oh, I got a lot of stuff. Talking about bag lady, release the bags. No, I got a lot of stuff. I'm gonna release it when I want to. I am a collector. And then I'm gonna just turn it into something else. Some of y'all, like my daughter got a sewing machine. She got one for her birthday. She always wanted one too. I said, we got all the old clothes and things. She gonna have so much fun. Cause I'm sure heck figure this out. That's what moms do. So, and dads, we love you. Y'all have a good one. We're closing out the video. Description box is open if you need any of my services. I have my crime victim advocacy completion from an accredited law firm with the Supreme Court stamp as well. And I don't mind showing it. I don't mind showing it. For those who need crime victim advocacy, and with me having my degree in criminal justice and learning advocacy in one of my courses, I kind of correlated the two and was like, bing. So I'm trying to be more of a help than a hindrance. Real Avatar stuff. Like, I don't want to fight, but okay. Rising Aquarius, Sagittarius Sun, Aries Moon, Leo Venus. So when I roar, you're gonna feel it in here. So y'all have a good one and have a good day. Hope you enjoy this. Description box is open, closing everything out. See y'all next time.